everyone, thanks again for tuning into Zin's Workshop. Hope you're having a great day. Okay, so today we're going to be talking about Nobody Knows But You. It's an adult mystery thriller that I have to say really impressed me. The reason it really impressed me is because I received an Arcan publisher. I thought the premise was interesting in itself, but I didn't know if I was really going to like it because mystery thrillers, they have to really be unsuspecting for me. Just because they're a little outside of, what I normally read. Usually I just read young adult fiction. That's it, young adult fantasy, mostly. So when I picked up this book, I was not sure I was going to love it. But I did. I started reading it at my day job. Took me 2.5 hours, I believe. All I know is that I was done with it before I even finished my shift because I couldn't put it down. I didn't want to put it down, I love a book like that makes you want to keep reading. That one you can't put down. And I think what the author did exceptionally well here was the pacing. And I say that because there are a lot of elements to the story. It's written in the form of letters. The main character is writing letters to her friend Lainey. Lainey? I believe it was Lainey. I left my notes in the other room, and I'm just too lazy to go get them. She's writing notes to her, and at first it's, she is making a lot of death jokes, so you kind of think this is her way of grieving with her friend's death. And then you find out her friend is actually in prison for murder. And I thought that was a really nice flip. It really did catch me off guard because the back blurb doesn't really give a lot away, which is good. That's good because it gives enough away to spark intrigue, like it did with me. So when I was reading it, I wasn't really expecting her friend to be dead. I wasn't expecting her friend to be in prison for the murder of her boyfriend, no less. So now we are really getting involved in the plot at this point. And from that point forward, from that revelation, the story is written in different ways. There are interviews, let me just kind of slow down. There are interviews with campgoers because the murder did take place at a camp, at their summer camp. So now we are getting an outside look on the friendship between the three characters. The girl, her best friend, and her best friend's boyfriend, who she didn't really like. She felt like he messed up the dynamic, and he was a bit of a dick. I'll say this. And I thought it was really interesting to see this unbiased look at their dynamics, as well as her own biased looks at the dynamics, the main character's biased looks, because she's writing these letters. Her therapist told her to write these letters as a way to cope, so she doesn't save them. She's telling us a story. We are in her memory. So it's kind of a little bit of an unreliable narrator going on, and I really enjoyed that. I don't read a lot of unreliable narrative stories. Sometimes they tend to disappoint me, but in this novel, I was impressed by it. Just because you're getting the outside look. You are reading interviews with fellow campgoers, your press releases about the murder and the trial. There's a lot going on to present different viewpoints of these character dynamics and the relationship. And I think that ended up working out, really well for the story, because it kept up that tension, it kept up that pace, it kept up that air of mystery. So when the bomb dropped near the end, when we get to see the details of the murder near the end, you're just like, what? It really did take me by surprise. And I think that that's just because the author's use of language is also very clever. There is a lot of misdirection. You're pulled in a lot of different directions. You're trying to figure out what happened at camp to lead to the murder of this boy. Was it her friend? Was it the boy's girlfriend from back home? Was it both of the girls together? Was it the guy's friend? Because he didn't. I mean, there's a lot of misdirection, and I think it's really great to see that misdirection explored, because it really did add to the rising tension. It really did add to the storytelling, and overall, I really loved it. I couldn't put it down. I read it and read it and read it, and I was just like, dude, huh? Yeah, That was me at work. Okay, that's a little bit of an exaggeration. I still did my job. Kind of have to, but it was a really, really slow day at work, thank goodness. So I really enjoyed it. I thought it was top notch. I really couldn't get enough of it. And I feel like I have to cut this review like short here because it's just going to be more of the same. Character dynamics were very well rounded. They were established very well. Like I already said, you get to see a nice scope of different viewpoints of their relationship, and I think that that's really cleverly done. I do love the voice, I love the tone, I love the rising tension and the pacing. It all worked together, and I do like how the author decided to use different sort of mediums to tell the story. She's not just telling a story in third person. You get to know the main character through her letters. You get to understand the relationship between her and her best friend. You get to understand so much that as the story continues to unveil, you're just so unsuspecting of everything in this story. And I think that's what really gripped me. So I'm going to go ahead and give Nobody Knows But You 4.5 out of 5 stars. I thought it was really good. I can't say that enough. But if you're interested in adult fiction, if you're interested in different use of mediums used to tell the story, definitely pick up this book. It really is gripping and unsuspecting, and it moves really well. I loved it so much. I can't say that enough. So Nobody Knows By You by Annika Morose Reese. Please, if you're going to purchase the book, purchase off of bookshop.org, because a percentage of all proceeds do go to supporting local booksellers. And I think after this pandemic, they need our help more than Amazon does. Or, purchase your book off of IndieBound, Better Old Books, Book Depository, Barnes Noble, Books A Million. Support your booksellers, please. As a person who eventually wants to open her own bookstore, please support your booksellers. And if money's tight, which, I get it, please support your local library by checking out the book at your local library. You know what? You don't even need to go there during this pandemic if that's really what concerns you. You can get a digital library card. A lot of libraries offer it. Just download the Overdrive app or the Libby app and get an e-library card, and there you go. You can get audiobooks and ebooks, and you can even do curbside pickup. A lot of libraries are offering that right now. So please support your libraries. And I hope you will continue to support me by liking this video and sharing it with all your book-loving friends. I hope you all have a great rest of your day, and as always, happy reading.